Today's November the 2nd. Status update. We got a big rain with overcast and drizzly over the weekend. We tried to cut some beans yesterday. They was checking 17, 18%, so we can't handle that, and at that level of moisture, kind of iffy on going into beans with them. Because beans aren't like corn. It takes a lot more to dry a bean than it does corn. Been doing a little box blading with it. Like my box blade. I'm not crazy about the tilt feature. I think I could have designed that a little better, but for the most part, it's getting the job done. So let's do y'all's first cold start of the year. Like that anymore, boys and girls. If them 3640s would have been front wheel assist, oh my gosh, they've been the best tractors John Deere ever built. Let her sit there and warm up. Gotta move the service truck over. Well, I had a little incident. Late one night out in the field, tie rod end broke and my wheels pointed two different directions. And funny story, I had just been running down the road like 10 minutes before it happened. Yeah, so I put it together the best I could to get home. And now we got new tie rod ends to go on it. Well, this is one side completed and fixed. See, this one, the tie rod is fairly new. I probably replaced it 4 or 5 years ago. But for some reason, the nut stripped out, lost the threads in it, and all that was holding it in there was a cotter pin. So we went to John Deere down in Dyersburg and just got a new nut for it because the threads were still good. I did not know it, but when we looked it up on JD Parts, that called for a lock washer right there, and we put it in there. Put our lock washer, put our nut in there, bent our cotter pin over. This side's ready to go. Need to put some grease in it, grease it up good. One issue we're gonna have to address this winter is you see how this wheel has play, but it ain't moving up here. Imagine this top. We're either gonna have to put a new spindle in it or something or another. I might pull this bolt and this washer off and look down in there and see what we have before I go too far. But I'm gonna grease this up and grease this one, and then this one, this tie rod right here, it's seen better days. We're gonna pull it out, put a new tie rod end in it, and we should be able to run for a little while. New tie rod, new castle nut, new cotter pin. Well, I think she may have seen better days. The promise of better days through better ways. So on and so forth. So what we gotta do here, we gotta undo this clamp, and then I'll let this tie rod just spin out. Looks like. We're also doing a little multitasking today. Robert is changing the oil in the tool truck. That's what Walt calls it. Robert just poured some Lucas synthetic oil treatment in her. I am a big believer in Lucas products. I've had good luck out of them. And then Mobile One synthetic oil. It's what this truck has had run in it its entire life per the maintenance records. This truck we bought it in Lawrenceburg at Gowan Wholesale Auto. They got a lot of work trucks up there, but it belonged to Pioneer Energy Services. You look them up, they're out of Kansas. Old truck's got 172,000 miles on it. I think we've put 14,000 of them on there. Not quite 2 years. It'll be 2 years Thanksgiving. We bought it the day before Thanksgiving. One, two, three, 4, 5, 7. Gotta leave 7 threads showing. There it goes. Being a little stubborn. We won't know how to drive this tractor without it wandering all over the road. Be like getting a new tractor. You know, sometimes when you get stuff put back together and you realize what bad shape it was in, it makes you stop and really think, hey, I was barreling down the road at 22 miles an hour without a care in the world, and the front end could have fell apart at any minute. But we got that fixed now, so we can barrel down the road carefree again. This is what we need out here, sunshine and the wind blowing. I really want to cut beans tomorrow. Hope that wind blows all night long and we don't have a dew. Get up and get started cutting about 10 in the morning. That would be lovely. Well, let's see if my track hoe's gonna start or if it's gonna be a pain in the butt today. Yesterday, I had a hydraulic hose leaking on it and I replaced it, and I had run it Sunday afternoon. Cranked fine. Come back Monday, we changed that hose, went to crank it up and it would not start. I got to clean the tracks out on it one day. Here goes nothing. Yeah, boy. Let her sit there and warm up. This is my farm, 10 acres here. Got a 3-acre woods. I'm clearing all the underbrush out of this woods. You see, got smaller trees, them big trees. I just ain't hardly got enough machine to handle them big trees. So what I'm gonna do is take all the little trees down, make my piles, then hire somebody with the big machine to take take these big trees down and put them on the piles, and we're gonna burn them and hopefully be able to start working what on my farm what was woods. I had some footage of our new box blade running and had some footage of me clearing with the track hoe, and I have lost it. I don't know where it went, but I lost it. I may have accidentally deleted it off of the SD card and it didn't get put on the computer or something, but yeah. I started trying to dig these two big trees up here. It's a big oak and a gum tree. And I dug down, you see how they're grown together? I dug down and ran it all the way 10 foot. You can see the skin up there. Reached with the boom and pushed on them. Would not budge. Where Robert's working right here, I had a washed out spot on this farm, and I've been just sticking trees in it, and it's been slowing the water down. Well, I cleared all this out, and that ditch was probably waist deep right here. So we probably gonna have to put a pipe in right here and a basin to slow that water down. I dipped the silt out of this ditch here and piled it up here to dry, and we'll use it when we start building this terrace. We'll use it as fill on it, where I'm not having to steal a bunch of dirt out of the field. Got a pretty good brush pile right here. You see where this was low right here, where the ditch was. Robert is taking that dirt and pulling it to the, see we're high on either side. He's gonna take his dirt, pull it into where this ditch was, and drop it and level it up, which is kind of hard to work with all these, you know, roots and stuff sticking up. But if you work at it long enough, you'll eventually get them all. You'll eventually get them all drugged down. And sometimes what he'll do, he'll drag all them roots and stuff and dump them, and then I can take the track hoe, pick them up and throw them on the brush pile, as long as they ain't got too much dirt on them. Here, see, he's gonna see how there's a hump right there he's driving over. Right now he's not too worried about, you know, fine leveling. He's just more or less just kind of what I like to call blocking it in. And you can drag a lot of them roots and stuff in these low spots and then drag dirt over them and cover them up. And go start the track hole in a minute. I was just kind of watching Robert there. While I'm watching him, I can pick up a few chunks. Make his life a little easier. see right here where it stays kind of wet. Right here was where we had the trees buried. And it's kind of sucked a hole in here as time's gone by. We will, at some point we will get the disc out and we'll disc all this and pull dirt into that hole. Drug off and kind of get it halfway flat, kind of go down in there a little bit and dump that dirt where that old ditch was, and kind of where you got it. We don't need to block the water from going out, but we need to try to get it flat where it don't run out in a rush. You know what I mean?
Well, you just can't put a pipe or something.
I am, but I don't know when we're going to get to it. We just kind of need to leave it where the water can get out. And I don't know, with it cleaned off and leveled off, we might not have to have a pipe. Yeah, get it feathered.
Then take that drill
But kind of where you dump that dirt there, kind of drag it back this way, and that wet spot, kind of fill that wet spot in, and more or less just kind of get it drugged. You know how all them roots and stuff was sticking up and how you kind of got it looking like good fresh dirt now? Well, our hole should be warmed up. You always want to make sure your hole's warmed up before you get into action.